wishes. All human beings have inherent dignity and deserve to be free. It's when the freedom is denied is when you're going to feel it. We believe we belong to the free world. We also have to stand up and protect it. To get ethical coverage of non-freedom that students that know love, brings awareness and schools and in communities. I think the scourge of modern slavery and third race youth freedom. You're a slave, dude. I mean, you do that. You can identify someone who's maybe in slavery. We want to be wherever you are.
Only African voices, change makers. Create opportunities. Impact communities. Transform lives. Storytellers embrace media production to raise awareness.
The whole idea that we can use journalism to change the world makes me wake up every day.
African Voices Changemakers on CNN in association with Glow. The president has lawyer Jim Starr, Robert Ray, Alan Dershowitz added to a big roster of 7 lawyers. The president hasn't always thought highly of the lawyers to
I think Jim Starr is a really good. I really want to get my stories in disaster.
He's on state TV mostly defending him. But his argument sounds like exactly help his case.
The president and his administration asserted 3 different governmental privileges to conceal relevant information. Those acts constitute a pattern of obstruction. It is fundamentally inconsistent with the president's duty to faithfully execute the law.
It was for a sex act. In fact, it was seen as such an extreme position that his own ethics advisor quit and claimed that he, quote, unlawfully intruded on the power of impeachment. Robert Ray refused to let the Senate get the last word. And though he now says the sitting president can't be indicted, he used a grand jury to try and indict Clinton and kept the case open until the very last day of his presidency. Now, why does that matter? I'll use both sides, a lot of lawyers. Because this isn't a criminal trial. In past impeachment, senators got to question the lawyers as well. A process that lasted 3 full days in 1999. Imagine these guys were asked, I could argue that then, but this now. As for Dershowitz, he's been consistent during Clinton and early to never answer. He argued that his is intended. He also recently said answers about what is applied shouldn't come from politicians. And the American public is craving for objective analysis rather than the partisan analysis, which is getting. Trump says that he is so anxious to not be seen as part of the legal team when he clearly is. He keeps saying, no, I represent the Constitution. This is our good constitutionality. But I am not here. I am not there. Why does he want to stay there? Alright, so there's nothing here like this. He got the nonpartisan GAO report that found faithful execution of the law does not permit the president to substitute his own policy priorities. Okay? That sounds like he violated that law according to a nonpartisan objective analysis. And look, the Democrats did themselves no favor drafting of these
We're almost there.
Okay?
Take him down.
That's what it is. You have to represent under the law. When you leverage something like this until you get what you want, which is something that is not for the public benefit, it is not for the country, it is for you. That's called a garage. The fact is, the president is seeing with this choice of message. Stars like post-Clinton includes being reminded this president of jail following a series of sexual assault lawsuits against the university. Dershowitz, as we all know, is in the middle of actively legislation as part of the Jeffrey Epstein mess. Then there's the spy roster, a who's who of celebrity legal scandals. That includes John Allen, Jim Bates, Mike Tyson, O.J. Simpson, Harvey Weinstein. You know, they all made cannabis big, right? But they also proved how controversial he cares about his clients in terms of their guilt or innocence.
Better save that for later. Don't take more than you can carry. Times like these, you've got to be fair about it.
That's my only job. So, the team reflects your values. So in a court of law, that kind of vigorous defense matters. Of course, of law. This is a court that has to impress politicians.
Save the formalities for later. We've got bigger fish to fry right now. Everyone, focus on the target. Let's show the immortals what we believe
Keep it up. See here in a picture of this. The man everybody stands next to, but nobody knows.
This way.
There's new evidence
Hurry.
that we put
We
out.
long to more of
It
them
does
show
not
up.
look good, not just for the president, but for Devin Nunes. We're going to bring in one of Nunes' former House colleagues for his take next.
Open up.
It's the Marshal. Open up.
Japan's one man's journey to self-discovery. This one with Japanese football legend Hidetoshi Nakata.
Well, go on.
More than 10 years after retiring from the sport, he's promoting Japan.
Be glad you made it inside.
And traditions.
This is hidden beauty of Japan.
We get a glimpse into Nakata's second life. He helps elevate the best of Japan to the world.
You're watching Topeja only on the CNN.
Wednesday on CNN.
We try to be global.
You are a
we try to
capable
be smart.
combatant.
But I want to hear
Everyone here in
authentic
Lestalin is
voices
counting
of
on
people
you
who are
to keep you
passionate,
safe.
who are intelligent, and that's the consistency that we try to get.
From Meet Zakaria GPS, Sunday on CNN. All new Inside Africa. Unlocking the mysteries behind the continents you
I've
thought
seen a
you
lot
knew.
of Crowns Guards in my day, but none of them can hold a candle to Cord. He's an elite.
In Ghana, innovators are breaking new ground and building a path for future generations.
They get the knowledge and they're empowered enough to use the knowledge they have.
Nowadays, Lestone's known as the City of Light, the last beacon of hope left for mankind. That's why everyone's gathered here. Refugees are pouring into the city from all corners of Eos, and it's our job to keep them safe from the demons. We Glaives fight for hearth and home, and this is our home now.
Here you go.
I can't thank you enough.
There, another shot.
Relax. You can rest easy now. Although you might want to thank the guy who brought you here. Anyway, I'd better get a move on. Wouldn't want to face the wrath of Cord the Impatient. Oh, and here's something for the road.
I'm Alex Thomas, and this is CNN.
I don't even get a thanks, Libidus? Or did you forget my name? Guess you still got a lot to remember.
When you travel the world, make sure the world travels.
I'd say they got your good side, wouldn't you?
Check in, log on, and get connected with all of the latest developments.
I'm glad you like it. I'll make sure to give the cameraman a raise. Oh, right. I suppose I ought to introduce myself.
connected to your world.
Viv Dordan, President and CEO of Meteor Publishing, Incorporated. You see, that shot of you made quite a splash among the locals, so I was hoping you might let us take some more. Our resident cameraman will just follow you around and snap some shots. But don't worry, he won't get in your way. Come on, the public is eating you up. Let's give them another helping.
You must get it right. It's life.
How in tarnation is a man supposed to get his work done without any power?
Do you remember when Congressman Eric Swalwell shifted the impeachment inquiry
So you're the glaive everyone's been talking about. Pleasure. Name's Jean. I work for Exoneris. We take the meteor shards that glaives like you collect and turn them into electricity. Pretty cool, right? All we need is enough light to drive away the demons. If you've got any bright ideas about where to send power next, feel free to share.
Arranged to help Nunez's investigative work.
Nunes said at the time, Parnas? Doesn't ring a bell. Then did an about-face this week, just as Parnas threw him under the bus, but still made it sound limited.
You know now that he had called my cell phone, and I didn't know his name. I didn't remember the name.
And a big example of it is, take a look today at Congressman Nunez interview on Fox. He always said,
all right, the power supply is online.
Exactly. Now all of a sudden he remembers speaking to me about nothing. But he remembers exactly.
So, it's just a phone call, right? I mean, is that big a deal? No, it wasn't just a phone call. We now have some of the communications between Nunez's top aide and Parnas. Well, what about setting up meetings, some of which the aide attended? With whom? Ukrainian officials.
These tasks
and
aren't for the faint of heart. Do you have what it takes?
Clearly things that Nunez wouldn't know anything about or forget, right?
Here, have a look.
What does former Republican Congressman Sean Duffy think of this? Now, my sarcasm is clear because Sean, come on, I know you know him, party aside. You don't know who he is, then you get busted for having a phone call with him, then you suggest that's all it is, then your top aide is setting up meetings for the guy with Ukrainian officials and Rudy, and you don't know anything?
So hold on a second, Chris. We also have to go back and look at Adam Schiff, who took a prank phone call.
No.
We're Russian.
Sean, don't do that. Sean, hold on. I'll let you talk about Schiff. Sean, come on. We gotta stop this, bro. It doesn't matter what Schiff did. Things that are wrong all on their own. I'm asking you about Nunez. Do you believe that his top aide set up all this stuff with Lev? He doesn't know his name. He doesn't know anything about him. Do you believe that if Adam Schiff said it?
So I know in the Intelligence Committee they come across a ton of people about the Devon, so I can't speak for him on this issue, but I will tell you that for Devin Nunes to take a look at corruption of going on to Biden in Ukraine, or Adam Schiff to say, I'm going to talk to Russians about naked pictures of Donald Trump, they're both advancing their investigations that they think commit crimes. Why do you deny knowing the guy? You'll have to ask Devin that.
No. He won't come on. He won't come on, Sean. Well, come on. You know they only go on state TV. He won't come on here. He knows better than that. We ask real questions.
I don't know that Schiff has gone over to the other networks as well. I mean, I think everyone goes to their camps and they're listening to easy interviews. I guess.
Sean,
Right.
come on, brother. You know what I'm saying here. You want to go after Schiff for what he was doing? Fine. I'm not that. I'm just saying it doesn't defend what Nunes did. That's all I'm saying. And him saying he doesn't know anything about this guy makes no sense, Sean, and you know.
But we're talking about Lev Parnas, right? Yeah. I mean, you have a guy who says, I have some really great hairstay. Now, at one point I said I really strategized documents. Now he says, I guess I didn't meet with Donald Trump. I didn't strategize with Donald Trump. I had a picture with him, but yeah, we didn't strategize together. I never met him but for a picture. And you and I both know presidents take thousands of pictures, as the president mentioned.
He's in a dozen pictures and video with him. He worked with his personal attorney as his main guy. Listen, Sean.
But you can't lie, Chris. Why was he lying and
He's
saying
got
I
credibility
strategized
problems.
with the president?
He's got credibility problems. 100%. The documents don't lie. Documents don't lie.
But you have to have documents for the president. And there's no documents with regard to Donald Trump. Or Donald Trump or yeah, you do.
Why?
Or it's hearsay, Chris.
No. There's no hearsay. If he wants to say he met with Donald Trump and he can't prove it, dismiss it. Rule it out. This is about what the president motivated. Well, how do we know he motivated? The OMB emails. He put a stop to the aid. Why? Harness written notes. Get them to investigate. Make Zelensky say it. The Rudy Giuliani engagement letter. Speaker conversation with Rudy Giuliani saying, listen to Lev like it was me or the president.
Let me tell you, sir. So when you look at this, if you want, you can put all the stuff behind us. If Adam Silver makes a question, we are going to hold Hunter Biden. Republicans saying that Hunter Biden worked for a Ukraine gas company owned by a private oligarch. Hunter knows nothing about gas or Ukraine. Again, the vice president, was in charge of foreign policy on Ukraine. What do you think we were doing when Trump's talking by bringing these two in and saying, we were doing nothing wrong. Donald Trump was out last year and was going after me for political purposes. I think Hunter Biden is doing all this testify because they're lending credibility to what Donald Trump to say you are with the president's abuse of power. The people you bring in, no. That's not what the witness is. The word of law. What makes a witness competent? You know something relevant about the matters at hand. Hunter and Joe Biden don't know what the president and his lawyer were doing. Ukrainian official did the president have a reason to believe that Joe and Hunter Biden engaged in corrupt activity on their part? Send the major vote to question right in there. Trump was right on that. Trump was right on all of that. I get you. He's here. I get that. Here's the count. No, because the main question is, why did he want just an investigation announced? Not an investigation for proof. Why did he want just announced? And why? Did he have corrupt intent in that why? Very high bar. Could he have had it? Yes. What's the best indication of that? Because he did this in a way that only worked to his political advantage when he could have gotten it done for legitimate reasons. He's proud. Call your friends in the Senate. Investigate it. Call Barr. Investigate it. He didn't do that. Why? He didn't want his hands to go. He wanted it to be bad or right. We have this conversation. We're on two sides of this issue. We disagree on the facts and the way they get played in the facts. Can't disagree on the facts. And here's the problem. And here's where we don't have the facts. We still have to have them testify. But they have ways to do it. Now we have to yes, did the president really agree that there was corrupt activities in the Ukraine with Hunter and Biden? And they can decide on that. And why did he do this, Joe? Why, if you want to ignore the fact that they were looked at by the Ukrainian officials and in the United States, and nobody found any wrongdoing with the Bidens, if you want to dismiss that, even though those are facts as well, why did the president do this? You have the best evidence. Ukraine, take a look at it. I think that's Ukraine did take a look at it. Ukraine did take a look at it again for Giuliani. Lutsenko did it and closed it and said there's nothing there. That's a fact. So you say, what we're trying to do is say, what I want is, I don't want to bring Joe and Hunter in. I want to protect them. They're irrelevant. I don't want to come out of the Paul and say, we disagree, but I think they're absolutely wrong. We won't bring them in. How are they relevant to the president's abuse of power either? If they didn't have anything to do with their abusing his power, how would it? You're streaming things along. I look at Donald Trump. If he is right, that Joe and Hunter are involved in corruption in Ukraine, American coaching by an American vice president to the richest family, we have every right to look at it. You might not have the process, but I want my process to be, what the heck are our officials doing to rich Ukraine? You think he cares about corruption? I'm not going to send him money. You think Donald Trump cares about corruption? He's trying to get people to change the law so American companies can bribe foreign governments. And you think he cares about corruption? I think he, you know what, I've heard the president on countless occasions talk about how much money he saves the American people. And as the economy grows and people go back to work and you have the USMCA and a new trade deal with China, the stock market's at 29,000, he has done a great job of making things actually work in the country.
What's that have to do with corruption?
Is rooting out corruption and not giving away taxpayer money.
He's had more members of his cabinet leave in disgrace than we've ever seen before. He has done nothing but encourage corruption, arguably.
Glad you made it back.
Donald Trump is spending your money like he spends his own. And he doesn't want to waste it.
On golf, in Ukraine. On golf and protecting his kids. More than we've ever seen. So much they won't even tell us,
I'd be more than happy to cook for you again sometime. It's quite
amazing. It's got nothing to do with the economy. You can have a great economy and not be a lying user of power. You can have both. We have both. Well, I hope not. I hope that you can have a good economy and not be a lying abuser of power. I think we both agreed on that. Sean Duffy, have a good weekend and thank you for making the case. You too, Chris. All right. The president is now accusing Democrats of using the impeachment trial to hurt Bernie Sanders' campaign. This I'm laughing at. Why? Because, man, you've got to respect him being on message. This guy is trying to disrupt and divide 24/7. Are the Democrats ready for this? Let's take it to the politicos next.
Today we live in an unpredictable environment and news races around the world at breakneck speed.
I didn't know what his intention was. I knew it could be obstruction of justice.
My show brings you the latest news and top newsmakers.
Any bright ideas?
And we also dive below the headlines to explore vital issues impacting our lives.
It's about right and wrong. You have to stand up for what you believe in.
We really owe you one.
Realize that our future is at risk and we need to take action.
Was that kind of mortifying or did you enjoy it? You were great. It's crucial we make sense of what's happening.
Do you regret that? Do you think there should be nuclear power or more
Bye now.
to a clean environment? New Zealand had its experience and changed its laws.
Hey, you're a member of the Kids Wing, right? I don't mean to bother you out of the blue, but would you be interested in buying some used clothes? It's for a good cause. I mean, they're not all used. I actually sewed some of them myself. Anyway, have a look if you got a second.
Hey, I'm Anderson Cooper. Welcome to Full Circle. It's created exclusively for CNN's digital audience. There's a ton of news that happens every day outside of Washington. I'll take you there. Here live in Asbury Park in Portland, Florida, Kiev in Ukraine. You can take me wherever you go. It's news with no limits. Those are on the large explosion. This isn't TV. This is Full Circle. Live weeknights at 5 p.m. Eastern or anytime after that at cnn.com/Full Circle.
A moment of wonder, your great big story.
Skateboarding makes me feel awesome. It doesn't get boring. It's always a challenge. There's no rules. Fingerboarding and skateboarding both have that.
Come again!
I started fingerboarding in 4th grade.
What do you say?
I had a lot of fun playing with the tech decks, and then I wanted to kind of improve them.
I'd say the future is bright.
Better. A lot of kids wanted to buy them, so I kind of put a name on it, and it grew into this huge business over time. There's hundreds of thousands of people out there that
Best
are
of
into
luck.
this.
For more stories like this, visit GreatBigStory.com. No holds barred.
Out front tonight, hypocrite in chief. So let me just put it to you straight, Senator. Senate Democrats, they're getting
What's
their
up?
butts kicked.
No nonsense.
Are you simply shooting the messenger because you don't like the message?
Facts
Let's
first.
think of
How
what we can
stupid do you
do.
think we are? Allies in Washington are covering for him, and they shouldn't get away with it.
Because getting to the truth.
I like this
The
guy.
Washington Post wouldn't confirm the date of that hearing, so you're telling me unless I go back in a time capsule, you're not going to believe it.
Aaron Burnett out front tonight on CNN.
This is CNN.
Thanks again.
You're the talk of the town, kid, thanks to those photos.
I foresee great things on your horizon. Good luck to you.
Ready to get powered up?
Democrats are rigging the election against Bernie Sanders. How? Well,
we really owe you one.
Out of so important Iowa so that he can sit through the impeachment trial. That's why they're doing this trial. Nothing
Say
to do
hi
with
to your
his
pals.
gross abuse of power allegations. His latest salvo comes as another prominent Democrat, though. Former Vermont Governor Peter Shumlin slammed his home state senator, of course, Bernie Sanders, accusing his camp of playing dirty. How about this? Bernie cast his vote victim and villain in like the same day. What does this tell us about what's going on in the Democratic Party and what the pressure points are here? Anna Kasparian and Karen Finney are here. First, Finney, do you think your party is susceptible to the president's ploy here? That this is anti-Bernie, I guess it's not anti-Warren or anti-Klobuchar, who are also senators. That's why they're doing it. Any buy-in on that?
Well, I think you can extrapolate from what the president said. He doesn't think either Klobuchar or Warren can win. So thanks for that. Thanks for reminding us, Donald Trump, why we are here and why we need to defeat you. I don't think Democrats are going to be fooled by anything that Donald Trump has to say, and we'll see right past it.
All right, Anna, let's do a little cleanup work on this back and forth between Warren and Sanders. So Shumlin comes out and says that Bernie's attempt here is to Hillarize, I guess that's Hillary, Hillarize Warren. What do you take of this? What's the ultimate takeaway for you, and what this has meant?
I would like to know more about this sexist attack on Hillary Clinton. It seems like he has some issues with Hillary Clinton, and he's arguing that Bernie Sanders is trying to characterize Elizabeth Warren as Hillary Clinton, which he certainly has not done. And his piece also doesn't reference any evidence to back up the argument that he's making.
Go ahead.
Not a single one. There's a lot of...
Go ahead.
There's a lot of emphasis, a lot of, in my opinion, defamatory comments about how Bernie Sanders is allegedly running a dirty campaign. However, there isn't a single example of him talking about someone's character in a negative way, or attacking someone's personality, or doing any type of character assassination. All of his emphasis has been on policy, and we're in the middle of a primary. In a primary, you are supposed to emphasize the differences in policy proposals. And the mere fact that he's done that has gotten him in trouble for some reason, when in the past, actual dirty politics on the left have been done. Hillary Clinton released a picture of Barack Obama in 2008 where he's wearing a turban and he's wearing his trip to Kenya. She purposely did that in effort to take him as a Muslim. I bring that up because Bernie Sanders would never, ever do something like that. But we still didn't characterize someone who plays dirty politics.
Here's what I love about all of this stuff. Let's remember, the Democrats actually did change the rules for Bernie. So many times, Democrats. And again, this time he's running up as Democrat and independent. He's a big winner. He's just waiting for Anna. Clearly, Senator Warren, there was an exchange between Senator Warren and Senator Sanders after the debate in which she felt like he was calling her a liar. Now, that is part of their personal, relationship. They're going to have to figure that out. But it's politics. And I would say that there's a difference between, sure, how do we get to Medicare for all, and she has one timeline and he has another. But it is not the same thing to then say, basically calling her a liar. And then online, we saw the Bernie bros attack the same way they did in 2016, calling, Warren is fake. That's where I think Senator campaign can show some leadership and say, you know what, guys? Let's disagree on policy, but let's not go into calling each other names. Are you arguing that Bernie Sanders is responsible for every random person who happens to be on social media? Because the fact of the matter is, every single candidate has a base that's passionate. I know that I've personally been attacked by Sarah Jefferson, I've been attacked by Andrew Yang fans, I've been attacked by Pete Buttigieg fans. And that's okay, that's part of the game. But I'm not going to hold those candidates responsible for the behavior
this one. I get what your point is. The senator could come out and say something about it, but you're right. His base is very vociferous when it wants to be. It's not the only base that's like that. You guys are both in minor leagues, but there's me when it comes to getting attacked by a group of crazy. Let me ask you something else with this. A good way to end this. Hillary Clinton says, I hope you pick the winner. Now, one, I think that's a little ironic because I do think, all due respect to me, I think there's an argument to be made that the party didn't fall in love with her and that she was the only person Trump voted that you guys could have put up. But this time, when you look at who you have, concerns, Karen and Melinda, that you don't have someone that can definitely be true.
No, and I'll tell you why. Number one, let's remember Hillary Clinton did beat Donald Trump by 3 million votes in the popular vote, now not the electoral college. But I don't think the Democrats are going to let that happen again. And I think one of the mistakes that was made, there are a whole host of them, and I'm with here. But I think we took it for granted that Hillary was going to win. And I think we understand now, and people thought that there's no way Donald Trump would be the nominee on the Republican side, no way he's going to win. So I do think what we, I hope that we all learned in the last 3 to 4 years is you cannot take anything for granted when it comes to the future of our country. So I do believe that a majority of Americans believe that Donald Trump is a danger to this country and should not be in office. And I would vote for any one of the people who are running next to beat Donald Trump. And I think the majority of Americans would do the same. I think that the focus on economic policy, I know that you disagree with this, is really key. There are many Americans who are frustrated because they're struggling to put food on the table for their children. They're struggling to pay their bills. Housing is unaffordable. That needs to be the focus, and I think that will help a Democrat win. That's the reason why Bernie Sanders is really rising in the polls. He is now in a statistical tie with Joe Biden.
Amen, amen, I say with one comma. You have to connect with that frustration and pain and convince people who went for Trump that you will deliver where he hasn't. And that's a tough passion bond. It's a tough trick, but you're right on the ground rules. Anna Kasparian, Karen Finney, thank you both, especially on Friday night. All right. This president's pitch to you, as you just heard from Sean Duffy, is, man, he hates corruption. He'll do anything to root it out. That's going to be the crux of the defense next week, right? But I have an argument based on something that's surfaced. You want to test his interest in corruption? I'll do that for you in quick. Next.
Well, let's dig
in the beauty of Japan's winter, one man's journey of self-discovery.
One can't wage war on an empty stomach, so eat up.
More than 10 years after retiring from the sport, he's promoting Japan through its craftsmanship and traditions.
This is hidden beauty of Japan.
We get a glimpse into Nakata's second life. Helps elevate the best of Japan to the world.
You're watching Top Asia on CNN.
Wednesday on CNN.
You don't know what it is down here. They ain't got to have no evidence.
How many of you all were with Walter that morning?
It's my dad, sir. Your life is still meaningful, and I'm gonna do everything possible to keep them from taking it.
Energy powers us, and our demand for it continues to grow. As our planet endures continuing pressure for more, we face a challenge. Can we reduce emissions and transition to cleaner energy sources? CNN is traveling the globe to find out.
Think of what we can do. Major economy to pass laws to reduce carbon emissions. We see how the government's commitment to the environment is helping to foster an energy transition.
The Global Energy Challenge, Monday on CNN.
Well, now it's my turn to get to work.
Bye now.
You're the talk of the town, kid, thanks to those photos.
Well, welcome to the Glaive. I hate to bother you right off the bat, but I need your help with something.
Otherwise, the whole town could be in trouble. Libertus was right when he said I could count on you. Well, let's get to work, shall we?
Listen closely. It's the sound of the business day beginning. Opening bells signal the chance of new opportunities. The players fighting to stay ahead of the pack. The next big idea
Testing. Do you read me?
Today.
Thanks again for helping out.
Bus being discussed. Now, markets rise and fall. The orchestra grows louder as more cities join in around the world. Sydney, Tokyo, Hong Kong, and Shanghai.
See a rope play on your left?
Paris and London, and here in New York, the heart of the financial world. Where the sounds of business meet
That's the one.
where I'll be your partner.
There's another line on your right, but it's been out of order for some time now. I was hoping you could handle the repairs. We use the cable cars to haul those meteor shards from here to our thermoelectric incinerators. Both lines need to be up and running to properly fuel the plant. And if the plant loses power, so does the entire grid. Watch your back in there. The place is crawling with critters. Real nasty ones, too. They're like a pack of rabid dogs, but more demon-like. Or so I've heard.
In Ghana, innovators are breaking new ground and building a path for future generations. You can get the knowledge and the empowerment to use them to help solve this problem. In South Africa, only on CNN, in association with Zenith.
All right, so here's the starting point. The big skeleton defense of President Trump is likely that Donald Trump is anti-corruption crusade. He certainly pitches himself that way, and so do his defenders, as you heard tonight. All his perceived enemies, well, it's because they're corrupt. Congressional Democrats, the FBI, the Obama administration, the Clintons, now the Bidens, all very corrupt. And that's what Ukraine is about. He begs you to believe I'm all about rooting out corruption.
Conversation I had was largely congratulatory, was largely corruption, all of the corruption taking place.
Yeah, his perfect, in fact. Just that pure interest in making sure everyone plays fair. Gosh darn it. Now, here's my argument. I'm being sarcastic because this is a laughable proposition. Look at his history alone with shady moves in business, his campaign, his admission that he wouldn't call the FBI if a foreign agent illegally passed him information about his opponent, because that's reality. And what he clearly orchestrated and endorsed with Ukraine is proof of it. Again, the consequence, that's up for debate. But for those who aren't sure about how Trump truly sees corruption, listen to this quote from his mouth. It's just so unfair that American companies aren't allowed to pay bribes to get business overseas.
Take the elevator to the upper level.
Change that. That was Trump in spring 2017. No, he wasn't misquoted. There's no allegation of that. It's a a very stable.
You can access the ropeway from there.
I argue Trump doesn't believe that he should be impeached for abuse of power because he believes power, by definition, should be abused. He thinks bribes and whatever you can get away with is okay. His life is testament to that proposition. The reporters in the book want to explain that Trump was frustrated with what's called the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act. Ostensibly, here's the quote, because it restricted his industry buddies or his own company's executives from paying off foreign governments. Now, maybe Trump was just spouting off, you say. He's just messing with the minds of those of us who value integrity in office. Well, here's Trump's top economic advisor today.
I would just say we are aware of it. We are looking at it. We've heard complaints from some of our companies, so I don't want to say anything definitive policy-wise, but we are looking at it.
Okay? Again, this is about Trump's desire to get things done any way he can. He is not burdened by principles, morals, and ethics. But we are. America is a model for the world because we don't do what the worst places and people do. That's why the lady with the lamp lights the way to this place, because it is seen as a beacon of hope and a chance for better.
Be clear. This is not
All
just
you
about
need to do
business,
is replace the
financial
busted
advantage.
fuse.
Trump's
You should
beliefs
be able to
about
make it to the
morality
car in a
are
flash.
fundamentally at odds with American values. Here he is, less than 2 weeks ago, with tensions hot with Iran. They're allowed to kill our people. They're allowed to torture, maim our people. They're allowed to use roadside bombs and blow up our people. And we're not allowed to touch their cultural site. It doesn't work that way. First of all, they're not allowed to do it. If you find that Iran is doing it, and you go to Congress with a strategy, they'd let you do terrible things, as Hillary Clinton said she would obliterate.
Well, look at that.
This isn't about America's might. It's about when you use it and how.
Thanks a bunch.
Suggesting that
Watch
America
your
should
step
be
on the
held
way
to the
back.
same moral standard as terrorists? Torture is okay? Murder and maiming are okay? War crimes are okay? Because others do them. That's making America great again? No. I argue that is negating why America is great again and again. You would never teach what he just said to your kid.
Great work today. You did the whole town a huge favor. Plant's up and running once more. If we get back to capacity, we could power the whole region.
Our leader. And we know what Trump thinks is okay by what I just showed you and so much more that he has said and done. Here's the question. What are we about? Senators, think about it. That's what this trial is about. That's what you will be judged on. And that's what will reflect the feelings of the voters about you. That is the argument. Now, the president thinks impeachment is going to help him win his next election. He should really be looking out for a crucial voting bloc that he thinks he's going to do really well with. What a photo for Friday. Next.
All new African Voices Changemakers. Create opportunities. Impact communities. Transform lives. Storytellers embrace media production to raise awareness.
The whole idea that we can use journalism to change the world makes you wake up every day.
African Voices Changemakers on CNN in association with Glow.
The fact that I'm even standing here and as you ask really is quite something. Snow has arrived in Sochi. So excited about it. So focused. What do you see as the biggest challenges? You were the overwhelming favourite heading into the final. How does the match play out for you? You're used to winning. How do you keep it going? Racing as Silverstone. The game for late women's football. And Amanda Davis in Rio, Pyeongchang, Moscow, Tokyo.
Today we live in an unpredictable environment and news races around the world at breakneck speed.
I didn't know what his intention was. I knew it could be obstruction of justice.
My show brings you the latest news and top news makers.
Are you playing with fire?
And we also dive below the headlines to explore vital issues impacting our lives.
It's about right and wrong.
You have to stand up for what you believe in.
We need to realize that our future is at risk and we need to take action.
Was that kind of mortifying or did you enjoy it? You were great.
It's crucial to make sense of what's happening.
Do you regret that? Do you think there should be nuclear power or more commitment to a clean environment?
New Zealand had its experience and changed its laws. To be honest with you, I do not understand the United States.
Does love have a chance of winning?
I always believe that.
And fully understand what's at stake.
Alan Paul, weeknights on CNN.
I'm Monica Hutch in Baghdad, and this is CNN.
be on the lookout for a new Washington Post Ipsos poll that shows 90% of black Americans disapproving of Trump's job performance, 83% believing he's racist. Trump thinks the economy will boost him with those voters, blaming both sides for violence in Charlottesville and so much other ugly talk. Matters. Bolo, some things matter more than money. Thank you for watching. Have a great weekend. But before you party, CNN Tonight with D. Lemon right now.
I'm breaking down that poll that is an Ipsos, Washington Post Ipsos poll. We're going to break all of that down. But what happened to all of these polls that they're pointing out saying, well, the president's numbers among African Americans, they're growing. It's 35%. We know better than that.
Well, look, here's what he's got going for him. If he can get, like, 19 African Americans to vote for him. It's a little bit of a relative assessment. The idea that nobody's been better for the blacks than I have. They know what he says. They know what he encourages.
I know you are saying the blacks because he said it.
Yeah.
Because I have never in my life heard you say the blacks. Because you know what I would do to you if I ever heard you say the blacks. There would be a footprint.
There'd be black eyes. There'd be two black eyes on my face.
So big on your rear end.
That's the talk. That's the talk he talks.
I know. That's what he says.
And look, some people said, oh, it's generational, Chris. But average president, man, you gotta be the rest of us, not the residue of the rest of us.
Well, ignorance is not generational. I mean, if you're the president of the United States, you should have people educate you. You should want to be educated. You should be calling people the blacks. You should be yelling out, where's my African American? Read the Washington Post story. It turned off so many African Americans. And in that poll, African Americans say, this economy that he touts so much and says that he's responsible for, they don't believe he's responsible for it. They do give credit to the former President Barack Obama for the economy. And they say pretty much they give credit more than anything to themselves for the economic responsibility.
Working hard, for picking up savings, finding different avenues. No question about it. Personal industry is the best industry in America. Look, I have a problem with the president getting credit for the economy. When the economy's good, the president benefits. When it's down, he loses no matter who's responsible. But the idea that the economy eclipses everything else, that's what they're arguing now about impeachment. Can't be abuse of power. Can't impeach him because the economy's good. One has nothing to do with the other, and especially with minority groups. You say people of color should go back where they come from. You know what he called countries that have predominantly brown-skinned people in them. You know what we talk about immigrants.
Yeah. So, listen, as a person of color who has this particular platform, and you remember what happened. You remember when I said the President of the United States was racist? I opened up the show by saying that. I got a whole lot of guff. But you know what? 90% of African Americans believe that and feel that in this country. And I speak for those people, especially with the rhetoric coming out of the president's mouth. So, there you go. And now the poll.
Okay, guys, let's hear something funny.
We'll see what the voting does. We'll see what the Democrats can do to harness the needs, not just the animals.
This isn't about a Democrat or Republican thing for people of color. This is just about living in America as a black person.
Right, but as you well know, a lot of African Americans believe that sometimes they vote for Democrats as the lesser of two bad choices.
Responsible for half the planes in the sky and half the planes that are not in the sky. Now, for months, the company has insisted that they did everything they could to ensure the safety of their planes. But thanks to some leaked emails, that excuse is crashing to the ground.
We are getting a look at some shocking internal emails from Boeing suggesting employees knew about problems with the 737 MAX before two deadly crashes.
Boeing has now released more than 100 pages of emails as part of FAA and congressional investigations. In 2017, just as the planes were taking to the skies worldwide, a Boeing employee sent this message to a colleague. This airplane is designed by clowns, who in turn are supervised by monkeys. One test pilot wrote, "I'll be shocked if the FAA approves this turd."
Wow! I don't know if Boeing has good engineers, but they do have some pretty good joke writers. Yeah, we should hire them for the next Comedy Central roast. They'd be like, Seth Rogen is here, the only thing that smokes more than a Boeing engine. And just by the way, why are Boeing employees trying to drag clowns and monkeys into this? First of all, clowns are good at what they do, all right? It's not their fault that your plane sucks. In fact, airplane makers could use a clown on the design team. Have you seen how many people they can fit in their cars? Imagine what they could do with the overhead bins. Imagine! And you know what really pisses me off about these revelations? Is remember how when one of the planes went down, Boeing tried to blame the Ethiopian pilots. Remember that? Yeah? The plane went down and they were like, well, where was the crash? Africa? Well, there's your problem right there. Yeah, they made it seem like the African plane crashed because the co-pilot was a chicken. You know? And yeah, sometimes the co-pilot is a chicken in Africa, but that's not why they crashed. The chicken knows what it's doing. So it's sitting there telling the passengers, buckle up, buckle up. No, please, don't encourage me. And finally, some exciting news from the music world.
Spotify, the popular music streaming service, is now offering playlists for lonely dogs. The company launched several playlists created especially for pets aimed at soothing them while they're left home alone. There's also a new podcast called My Dog's Favorite Podcast, which is intended to provide comfort through reassuring human voices, relaxing music, and ambient sounds.
A podcast and a music streaming service for dogs? No. No, guys. No. Let dogs be dogs. All right? I don't want to be at the park like, come here, boy. Come here, come here. And then the dog is just like, oh, sorry, what? Or at least they're doing it the right way. But if you are going to play music for dogs, you do need to have a specific playlist. You don't play the wrong song. Like, can you imagine if a dog hears DMX? Yeah, he's going to get overexcited. DMX is going to be like, where my dog's at? And be like, I'm right here, I'm right here, I'm right here. Oh, you're going to the park. Oh, there's another dog. This is so cool. This is a bad idea for everyone, especially musicians. Don't think about the musicians. Imagine you're trying to be a rock star, right? And then one day you're looking at your Spotify and you're like, damn, I'm blowing up all of a sudden. So you go on a big tour and you get on stage, and that's when you find out all your fans are dogs, huh? That's gonna break your heart. You're gonna be trying to be cool, signing autographs, huh? You wanna hook up with groupies, but you can't.
You're the talk of the town, kid.
So
Thanks to those photos.
Hey, I guess. I mean, see if that Labradoodle in Vogue 2 wants to come backstage. All right, let me get the peanut butter. All right, that's it for the headlines. Let's move on to our top story.
You want weapons? We got lots of them.
Impeachment. It's like canceling your Uber, but for a president. And even with the Senate trial now just days away, things are still heating up. So let's catch up on the big developments in another installment of The Magical Wonderful Road to Impeachment.
Hey, come again.
So, Trump's impeachment trial is set to begin next week. And as with any impeachment trial, the Senate will serve as the jury.
Any bright ideas?
All the senators were sworn in by Supreme Court Chief Justice John Roberts. And then they signed their names.
We're bringing the light back to
What's
Lucy's.
known as the Oath Book. It was a really solemn moment, and also the first time ever that anyone's ever asked for Ted Cruz's autograph. Now, the one big question hanging over this trial has been, will Republican senators allow new witnesses to testify? Well, apparently, some of those witnesses are waiting to find out. They're just showing up on TV, right? And the conversation everyone's talking about right now is Rachel Maddow's interview with Lev Parnas.
See ya.
An associate of Rudy Giuliani and a man with 7 different hairstyles all at once. Now,
I can barely keep up with
Parnas
you.
is important because unlike some previous witnesses who only heard about what was going on, he claims that he was working closely with Rudy Giuliani to get dirt on the Bidens. So those other people smelled the bush.
Very well.
He actually made it.
Be careful.
And now he's telling all of America how it went down.
President Trump knew exactly what was going on. He was aware of all my movements. I wouldn't do anything without the consent of Rudy Giuliani or the president.
Are you saying specifically, and I want to sort of drill down on that, that the president was aware that you and Mr. Giuliani were working on this effort in Ukraine
to basically try to hurt Joe Biden's political career. He was about that.
Yeah, it was all about Joe Biden, Hunter Biden. It was never about corruption. It was strictly about Burisma, which included Hunter Biden and Joe Biden.
Damn, those are some pretty big accusations. Because you understand, Lev Parnas is saying that President Trump knew about everything that was going on in Ukraine, and that none of it was really about fighting corruption. That's a big deal, coming from Rudy Giuliani's right-hand man. This would be like if Luigi went on Rachel Maddow like, Mario doesn't care about the princess. He just loves to murder turtles. He wants to kill all of them. He's a very sick man. It would be huge. Now, the White House has responded to this interview saying that Parnas is a liar. They say he's only saying this because he's been indicted for campaign finance fraud, and so now he's trying to get a lighter sentence, like the Ukrainians in Kasha 6-9. And Trump has gone one step further, saying that he doesn't even know what event Parnas is. Much less that he gave him instructions to get dirt on Joe Biden. To which Parnas is now responding, pigs.
The President of the United States said, you know you.
I don't know this yet. Now it's possible I have a picture with her because I have a picture with everybody. I don't know that.
I don't have to say that even though every time I say that I show my picture. He's wrong.
You know the game is real when someone is threatening to open their capital. You know when your friend does that? He's like, oh, you want me to airdrop these to you? Because I'll airdrop them for everyone. We both know what happened. And that sandals result. I hope my father does typically every word. You know, we'll be finding out like expert independent parties together. They'll be the next thing they line together on Space Mountain. And then eventually they're going to end up with humans. You know, that's where it's going to go. Yeah, Trump will be like, that doesn't mean anything. I can't count with everyone. So many days. So, this is the latest thing, and we just have to impeachment stand. Giuliani is one of the arrests. Let us understand everyone else. So many people are involved. They can't think of concepts to try. Yeah, so my sense of the law, it's been on telephone. You're like, Trump was wrong. And to make that work, today, so that's where things stand right now. With this proposal, the government itself says, what do you imagine?
New dishwashers that give you more water so you can actually wash and rinse your dishes without having to do it 10 times. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Your dishes are going to be beautiful. I'm talking about dishwashers, sheets, light bulbs. We won't talk about toilets. You know that's it. Did you ever go to the faucet? You turn on the faucet to wash your hands. You go like that, the thing flips on. And then done. But how about the shower? You go into a shower, and I have this beautiful head of hair right here.
I knew it! He's terrible. We'll be right back. This is the story of allegedly figured it out.
No question, God, you need to think there.
That's funny to me. It's great. Thank you, Kenny Choosers.
For Hawks and Home.
Biggest thing to show what would take off, probably the hall.
And it came out exactly you to put my clothes back on.
News isn't the only thing in the news. Also sports. So let's check in on the world of sports with another edition of I Apologize for Talking. Let's talk, baby.
I'm Michael Costa. He's Roy Wood Jr.
That's right. We're here to talk about sports and show America that black people and dumb people can get along.
That's right. Wait, are you saying that I'm black? Because that's awesome, man. Touch my knuckles. Come on.
Costa, what a crazy week for sports.
Glad you made it back.
Sunday, Noble beat in the Super Bowl, and most importantly,
Dinner is
basketball
served.
team won the big game last night.
Roy, you were playing fifth graders, Roy.
It's hard to recreate the taste at home, but I make do with the seasonings I
The biggest
have.
news of the day. Odell Beckham Jr., known for making spectacular grabs, made another spectacular grab.
We are getting some breaking news now. More fallout from Odell Beckham Jr.'s championship celebration with his alma mater, LSU. So now we're learning an arrest warrant has been issued for OBJ.
New reports indicate a judge signed the warrant this morning after seeing this video from inside the Louisiana State locker room on Monday night. The video shows a security guard questioning a player on the team, and behind the officer, Beckham appears to slap the guard's backside. You see it right there. The arrest warrant is for a charge of simple battery.
Odell Beckham Jr. slapped a cop on the butt. Who goes back to college to get in trouble?
You're the talk of the town, kid, thanks to those.
I foresee great things on your horizon.
Then you get grounded. You're too old for that shit, man.
Yeah, okay, that's one way of looking at it. But
Thank
let's
you.
be fair, Costa.
Take care out
Odell
there.
parties a lot. Probably thought that was one of them stripper cops. And to me, a slap on the ass is harmless. It's a harmless slap on the ass. That's how you communicate in sports. It's like saying, good job. Did a good job.
All right, well, you never slapped my ass after one of these.
I would if you did a good job.
Well, look.
I would.
Speaking of asses, all right, the Houston Astros won the 2017 World Series, but now we're finding out they're in some trouble of their own.
In a major league bombshell, the Houston Astros severely punished tonight for cheating.
The Houston Astros stole pitching signs during their historic season. MLB says the Astros used a camera in center field to decode pitching signs from opposing teams. The information was then relayed to the dugout, sometimes via text message on a smartwatch, then passed along to hitters by banging on a trash can, as heard here with the audio ratings.
The Astros face a record $5 million fine and lose several top draft picks over the next 2 years.
Hold on. The Astros cheated their way to a championship, and they were only fined $5 million? That's nothing for a baseball team. $5 million. That's like 4 stadium hot dogs. I mean,
No, Michael, you know what? I blame the Astros opponents. Make the signs harder to steal. Can't you be using the same little sign between their crotch to hit? If you want to use your opponent, you gotta follow it.
I didn't understand a word of that, and I'm black. All right, well, let's move on to some international sports news. The Olympics are 6 months away. Let's go to the next headline.
This summer's Olympic Games in Tokyo will be the first to exhibit political protests by athletes. The International Olympic Committee issued guidelines forbidding athletes from any gesture of a political nature, including kneeling. Political signs and armbands are also banned. The IOC says it's trying to master as possible.
This is the dumbest thing ever. You can't ban
If you let people do it, it's not the same thing. Like if you let someone kidnap you, they're not a kidnapper, they're just your Uber. You know? Or whatever my kid is, Uber
comedian and actor stars in his HBO series, Curb Your Enthusiasm. What is that?
What? What? Oh, remember that wedding in Malibu? The four of us, we used to have such good times together. Oh, that was so nice, Jeffrey. Remember that?
This is very painful for me now.
What? The Cheryl's in it?
Yeah.
There you go. Taking it down. It's part of our history. The deny our history. Rewrite it.
I'm looking at a Confederate war movement. It's a history that's very different.
Well, I wanted to honor our heritage.
This picture being up is very offensive to me, Susie.
Well, I'm sorry. Put the back.
Hey, look, I'm still here. They couldn't find a sentence without the same.
Yes, exactly.
I would say, I think you are truly one of the connoisseurs at that word.
I think so too. It's easy.
Yeah, I mean, where do you know how to do the right space at the right time?
You know, I think of this crazy woman just screaming, shouting, when there's a method behind that.
There definitely is. And you done an amazing job. Here's now 10 seasons of script perfection.
Thank you.
When you started the show, because you've known Larry since like 1985, I think.
Yeah, around that.
You would stand up together, you shared stories your whole life. That's why I guess your chemistry is so good on screen. Did you ever think that the show would become the institution that it's become?
Absolutely not. When we first started the show, we had no budget. We had no trailers. We had like porta potties. We had no dressing rooms. It was this slapdash kind of. It was kind of like, I got a barn, let's put on a show kind of a show. Right. And we never knew from year to year if we were coming back. It was just the fact that it's 20 years later. We started in 2000. Wow. 20 years later and 10 seasons is amazing. It's amazing. And it's the greatest job ever.
What makes it the greatest job for you?
Well, for me, I show up.
Hope you're hungry.
My friends, you know, I tell everybody to go themselves. Then they give me money, and I go home.
Does it taste okay?
That sounds like an amazing job.
And they love me for it. Right. You know, so, but also, it's just, I mean, we have so much fun. We laugh all day long.
It feels like that kind of show, and you know, people always talk about how Curb is created, how, you know, the show is put together and you have a framework of what's going to happen, but nobody knows how you're going to get there. There's no script. Like, do you ever get used to that?
Yeah, I'm totally used to it.
That's just the world.
Oh, yeah. I mean, when I have a script, that feels odd to me. You know, yeah. I mean, it's improvising. We know our characters so well. We know our relationships so well. And the scene is set out. I mean, it's not this willy-nilly thing. I mean, we know exactly
what do you say?
Has to happen in each scene. So we're just, it's like what you and I are doing right now. We don't have a script.
Yes, but I mean,
Transmission complete.
Get somewhere specific, like, you know what I mean? Like,
we're trying to get to the end of the segment, Trevor.
Yes, but like Curb, that's what I love about Curb Your Enthusiasm. Every episode ties every moment.
That's Larry's brain.
It is genius, but every moment ties into something. You don't know what's going to tie into the end of the story, and that becomes like an arc that takes.
And then it'll come back.
Exactly.
And then it'll come back. Yeah.
You've also developed a chemistry on the show with each other. Like, what I love about Curb is how differently each character acts with another character. Does that just come naturally, or is it who you are?
I think that I think that over the years we've developed kind of a dialogue of the unconscious.
Don't just stand there. Help me.
I think we don't, like, Larry and I have never discussed our relationship or my character ever, and we never discussed it. We just kind of had this trust and respect. We have to have one, and it just developed all of us. We have this little family that we work so well
Sometimes the second choice, like, sake, all right. Will Smith was supposed to be Theo in the Matrix. Then we got Keanu Reeves and he's perfect. You might Keanu Reeves. There you go. You know what? Curb Your Enthusiasm returns for its 10th season, January 19th at 10:30 p.m. on HBO. Susie Essman, everybody. I'll be right back.
Damn. Must have been a lot of work hauling that thing all the way back here. Good job, Dave. Now, my only question is, where the hell are we going to put it? Oh, what about the basement of the Ville? Yeah, I bet the king could rest in peace down there. Speaking of rest, you must be beat. It's written all over your face. Maybe you ought to call it a night, too.
Where there are violations, we now make clear that the law requires states to establish a clear process for students
you have liberated my soul.
And Michael. William.
I cannot lift the cross that you bear. I can offer my protection.
James quite nervous. He's never actually roasted anyone without Spencer Matthews hanging out the other side of it.
Roast Battle returns. Shots fired! With brand new judges.
That imagery will be with me for the rest of my life, so thank you for that.
Minus 10 points for the film.
It's stand-up.
Laura, living with you is a miserable experience.
With put-downs.
You have to be in control of everything, except your weight.
Brand new Roast Battle. Starts Monday at 10, only on Comedy Central.
Ha! Mine isn't stopping!
What do you mean?
I'm on a runaway alligator! Ah! Ooh, silky, satiny, cashmere. Ah!
Brand new Ox Burger starts next Friday from 10 on Comedy Central. The following stories are all based on genuine historical events. However, all the comedians telling the stories are drunk, so the facts may have been embellished a bit. Hello, I'm Jimmy Carr, and welcome to Drunk History, the show that brings you genuine stories from history
As a vagina, I've never seen such a thing.
as told by blind drunk comedians. They'll be spewing up historical facts all over the butt shelter of your brain.
To Mike Matthew, I'm going to be a fucking legend. I, for one, am furious!
This book looks like baby spice. You're a shocking. He was a maverick, a trailblazer, and he made a difference. Fuck off.
We'll begin by learning how Sir Walter Raleigh introduced the
talk of
potato
the
to
town,
this country.
kid. Thanks to
But you'll
them.
notice
I
the
can
only thing that's
barely
really
keep up
mashed
with
in
you.
this is Tom Crane. After 3.5 pints of lager
Good luck
and
to
5 double vodka lemonades, you can see why.
Good to see you.
What is better than booze? I'll tell you what, facts, yeah, and crisps. Here's the story about the guy who introduced both of those to Britain. Sir Walter Raleigh was a high achiever. He was not just an explorer, and not just a military.
All right,
he was also
let's light it up.
A pensmith, a quill wielder. He had the pen, he had the gun, he had the compass. So he was quite a lonely man.
We've got the power.
And the woman he turned out to meet was none other than old Queen Elizabeth I. And the Queen, she'd been out on a night out, and she'd come across a puddle. It was a huge puddle. She didn't know what to do about this until a man emerged from the darkness. Was it Jack the Ripper? No, he wouldn't be around for another 300 years. This was Sir Walter Raleigh. And what did he have in his hand? A large cloak. He charged forward. Stop, Queenie! Do not put your royal feet upon that water. I'm going to put my coat down on that puddle so you don't have to walk across. And the Queen said, that sounds really pleasant. And he went, oh, this is a new coat. All joking about it, I've made it.
Transmission complete.
So he puts it down! And he went, oh, can put it down! So the coat was down and the Queen's feet were dry like Ryvita on a sunny morn. And she turns round and says, you are a man I will be keeping my eye on. And he thought, that is a coat worth abandoning. This may pay off in the long run. What way can I better this?
Bye now.
So I know, going into war in Ireland. So Raleigh
Which hunt will you join?
headlong into his battle called the Siege of smoke. Raleigh heads back to England. He's a massive hero, and the Queen is ecstatic. And it's kind of at this point the Queen starts to see one odd attraction there.
Very well.
Foot starts to
I
slip.
wish you a safe return.
The eyebrow lifts. She then says, first of all, I would like to knight you for your valiant efforts abroad. And she goes, I would like you, Sir Walter Raleigh. And then she turns to chop his neck off, and he laughs. And then she goes, I would also like to offer you the ability to colonize a small part of America. And he goes, brilliant, because I'm an explorer. She goes, exactly, you know me so well. They kind of hug in that awkward way that mates do who really fancy each other. They pull away and they think about kissing, but neither do. And he says, I've got to do some exploring. See you later, Virgil. And she goes up to her bedroom and finds a carrot. So in 1585, Sir Walter Raleigh turns up in North Carolina. He's walking around. He comes across this group of natives who are sat in a ring. And he also noticed there was smoke emerging from them. And he thought, what the hell's going on here? I should have a little look. And he sits down on one spare stool. It's quite weird. And a chap hands him a pipe. He starts to... There's a little smoke on it. And a little bit, oh, it's nice, I like that. And he headed back home to England soil with his pockets stuffed full of tobacco, a couple of rizzles in the back, lest he ever encounter a ruby. And he burst through the door in a crowd smoke, and so Raleigh goes, tonight afternoon, I'm going to be attacking the legend. And he floats across the room, the guys are fucking gone. Queen checks him out, he slides off a fucking throne like he's flies, and so Raleigh goes, Queen, I've bought the thing, I've bought tobacco. Last hope. The beaker was like, no idea what he's doing. I love you. You're right. So, get ready to stay tuned, my goodness. And having me, Queen Elvin, who said, China. Not long open to that. As a bird. I've never seen such a thing. The Queen, so excited. Especially for the morning, whereby and this, the greens and the leaves, the banquet begins. The Queen starts to get all this stuff. Then, at the end of the meal, there is something. Things start getting a little worse. And the Queen is seen to rage. She goes, and suddenly, the Queen, the princess, everywhere. All of a sudden, are vomiting potato everywhere. So the whole potato thing is radically mixed with a couple. So maybe one, somebody maybe both, and then please maybe Elizabeth Frog. The Queen, she was fucking pissed off about this. She was like, how dare he calls me the lady that I feel close to my breast. I want to do it. So he tried regulating society with that woman. So Raleigh doesn't really want to go, so he encourages him to pass away. Then it's the day they die. Hit it. I don't know why I'm messing with you. I have no idea. Something happened between our big Christoph and died. Magic Christoph. King has got a name. A king. Dead the first. And that king was going to throw Spain. And then he decides But anybody who's made in Spain should be classed as Sunday. Already refuses to acknowledge it. And he returns time and again with some Catholic town. I think they would better first. Eventually, where it goes, the finest times to return, you can see as a your head has got to go. So did they start. Also, water out of his kitchen. Which is 29th October. 60 minutes. So this is your all concerned with oppression. So upstream, and upstream. And the guy said, couldn't say that again, he didn't move.
Imagine a factory on every single floor you take the base, or if you want to change floors. Think back to London. That's all we have time for in this half. See you on the other side. The baby spikes in the woods.
That's first I just wanted to talk to you. That's what it is. Like, alright. It's fucking hell forever.
Okay.
Hello? Donald Trump tweeted.
He tweeted a picture of himself high-fiving.
That's not a high five. Trump was just measuring hand size. This is the story of a historical legend. It's buried in our butt. This is huge.
No question, go back to the Elizabethan era, because I look great in tights.
A very hard line to say without cracking up.
15 Yemen Road, Yemen.
It's free. Beggars can't be choosers.
It's amazing. And there's so much more.
I think I'll be Chandler first, just because his name's Chandler.
Welcome back.
Oh, that's working for me.
One from Jimmy Carr.
Lovely.
Tonight, I'm calling
Sorry for the
And I
wait.
came out of the bathroom in just a towel. Nudity. Hello.
And I would just pull up a chair and watch that happen all day long.
I'd be more than happy to cook for you again sometime. It's quite
Welcome back to Trump history, where you're as likely to find a sober comedian as you are to find someone who knows who their dad is on Jeremy Kyle's sofa. Now gather round, children. It's time for the legend of Robin Hood. But be warned, parents, it might be a tiny bit more swearier than the Disney version. Big Tom Davis had 9 pints of lager and 2 Jaeger bombs whilst telling us about it.
I want to tell you a story about a working class hero. Robert Oxley, the Earl of Huntington. But you might better know him as Robin Hood. So I'm talking about way back, like 1180, that's when Robin was doing his thing. He was like an earl, he was proper posh, he was also like a man of the people. All the birds would love him. I mean, they loved him. He was like olden day David Beckham. Men wanted to be him, women wanted to fuck him.
You're the talk of the town, kid.
I foresee great things on your horizon.
I called the Robin Hood, which was named after Robin Hood. And Robin is bold as it goes. Hey! Who wants a drink? Everybody in this place is getting a glass of me. And that means I'm me. And everyone in the place says,
You've got the power.
He's always doing good stuff like that. On the other side of the bar, Sheriff of Nottingham. The Sheriff of Nottingham was a Republican. He was basically like King John's little bitch. He was collecting taxes. But what he doesn't like is Robin Hood is a man of the people. He's not even Robin Hood yet. He's just a bloke in a bar on every other kind of drink. Now this prick, he's like, fucking Robin Hood Oxley. That fucking snide. No fucking teeth.
Say hi to your pals.
He doesn't say that then. He just sort of says it under his breath. And someone next to him goes, oh, what was that? He's like,
Here, have a look.
You gonna buy that? No, this was very, very, very important to the story I'm telling. Right? Robin Hood always buys a fucking drink. Sheriff Nottingham.
Thank you.
Fucking prick.
Do be careful.
Yeah. So Noxie is out hunting one day. He's bowling around Sherwood Forest, which is his favourite place to go hunting. All of a sudden, He's an absolute salt. I mean, an absolute lovely looking bird. This woman looks like Baby Spice. Like, Emma Bunton shit going on in there, like. And she's from good stock. Her dad is like the Earl of Fitzwater or the Fitzbridge or something, and she's hunting as well. So anyway, Robin is like, bang, bow and arrow, kill. And there's a she bowls over, and she's like, oh, did you get that venison before I could make it? And Robin is like, hey, yeah, I always get my kill. My name is Robin of Locksley. You've probably heard about me. And this woman's like, oh, I've never heard of you before in my whole life. My name's Maid Marian. So anyway, they've got like hunting stuff to chat about. She's like, oh God, I can't believe we've got so much in bleeding common, like. And he says, like, oh man, at first I just wanted to fuck you, but now I actually think that we have something in common, and maybe I love you. Will you marry me, Marian? And Marian, well, in the bed, she's looking at her with Jessica, who I just met. But she knows for a fact that he's decent and he's good. So Marian turns and goes, of course I will, but I must ask my father. So she jumps on her horse, she rides back into Nottingham. And Robin's only real confident is his horse, Jeff. So he says to Jeff, hey Jeff, that was a hell of a thing, huh? I never thought I'd find out this way. Ride me back as quick as you can to Locksley Castle. And Jeff's like, I've been striding around town for the fucking last 10 hours. Robin loves Jeff. That's one of the things you've got to remember about this story. So anyway, he jumps on the back of Jeff and he rode back to Locksley Castle. And let me tell you, this is where the story takes itself at the worst. He rocks up, all of his shit's all over the fucking lawn. The whole lot, everything. All his fucking nice clothes, any electrical goods I might have, all of his candles.
Any electrical goods.
Jeff's like, I don't know what's this. He's like, Jeff, I want to good things for kids. Jeff's like, hold up for a second, your shit's all over the fucking lawn. What have we got to deposit for that? Anyway, who appears to share the blood? Listen, you have shit. You're fucking out. Looking like, hey, we can't take that damn thing, huh? Listen, I paid my taxes. This man is right. That's what this out of the he's literally going to go fuck. So not taking fuck, and then getting fuck. It's looking you can throw out this shit, but I will be back, and I will bring the best until the stars upon you. It's not what happens around here, you know. So what we got looking to share with us, he's gone from being an earl with everything to nothing. So what he does, he does the only good thing around this man, because he loves to marry well. So say, I want to make us your closer but we can't be together, and not know them anymore. Listen, my name's John. Jeff is fucking looking out. Killed it. Robin was not known how to use your opponent's body weight against Jack. But all like some country, slips it. He's got to go to kill the great one. And then, Robin's like, sorry. Did you what did you say your name was? My name's John. What kind of door? What's up? Hey, time up. It's a beautiful thing. I'm looking for the So while this is all going on, Marion trying to stop people like Robin, who she met in the head. So Marion basically gets herself all your face. You want to know, show her body. The trouble is, Robin does all his Robin into the sky. And Robin sees Robin. So basically he jumps out of his book, right? He goes, "Mom, what's up there?" And she puts on a king. "I am the sword! And I am the sword! You can sword! She was out there. And he said, "You're not a liar, man. For me, you're the least thing." And he was going to know what that was. I think it's sorrow. And they go out. So it's like, it's snapped in the body out of it. And look, but it's sweet kid. Something feature. You're sure that? Six and a half. Anyway, she says, "It's me. It's me, Mary. Mary, take that here." And he would take it off, baby. She's like, "What are you doing here, Poppers? What are you doing here?" She's good. Make the choice. Let me think what it is. Here, your choice. If I can do it, then I'm dead anyway. Don't put that blood through my guts and stop here. You're looking for me, fella. Very cool, this one thing he said. It's something over the end. He's a bit selfish. Just in the back of the and then Brian comes up across the stage and goes, "I'll do it." So yeah, they all basically got married. And at the end of it, you know, I used to have, I don't know, I used to think that's what but all in the end I really needed was a woman like you. Marion turns around and says, "You're a soppy cunt." So that, my friends, is the story of Robin Hood and Maid Marian. The best ever working class love story. It's better than Romeo and Juliet and all that old stuff. If you want to be with someone, don't let barriers hold you back. Because they did. And they made love in a beautiful forest.
Glad you made it back.
Not so many again.
Dinner is served.
I had a green hood once. Thankfully, my GP gave me something for it. Well, that's the end of tonight's show. Our comedians are off to soak up the foods with microwave leftovers and possibly a cat. Good night.
I really like this game.
Man, I thought that kid was just pretending to be some kind of know-it-all. But he's actually pretty sharp.
Must be if he made it out of the Crown City in one piece. Wouldn't be surprised if he's smarter than you.
Hey, Glaive! Get a load of this. Turns out this kid is a walking encyclopedia. He knows everything.
Well, not everything. Just mainly what's written in my grandpa's notebook. He took down notes about all kinds of things, like that funny-looking island floating off the coast of Golden Key. There's a lot of mysteries surrounding that place. Most of them are unsolved, since the island is technically off-limits.
In a time that style forgot.
That loving little nuts.
In a city that never sleeps.
Good morning, my neighbor!
Hey, Murphy, shut up! When an airplane runs into trouble.
What's up?
When a prince is coming to America. When the wedding singer is unleashed on the passenger.
It's looking brighter already.
When a new batch of rebels decide to strike. Only one tour guide can save them.
No.
Only one ghost can save them. Beetlejuice. Couldn't be worse. Only one man can save them.
Surely you can't be serious. I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Alec Baldwin, Sheena Davis, Eddie Murphy, Eddie Murphy, Eddie Murphy, Eddie Murphy, Eddie Murphy, Winona Ryder, Eddie Murphy,
Okay.
Showtime. All-Star in.
You're the talk of the town, kid. Thanks to those photos.
Wednesday at 9 with Gremlins 2 on Comedy Central.
The following stories are all based on genuine historical events. However, all the comedians telling the stories are drunk, so the facts may have been embellished a bit. Hello, I'm Jimmy Carr, and welcome to Drunk History, the show that brings you genuine
Thanks for watching,
stories
guys.
from history.
Go suck up sealed cock.
As told by blind drunk comedians.
I probably need another beer.
Our storytellers like their history shaken and slurred.
Oh, fuck. Oh. Iceberg, eh? Let's just chop it in half. Why are you being racist? It's just round circles around us. She's like WhatsApping our mates. Edward's like, can I say, kinda?